Okay.
We're doing this. We're done. We're almost done.
We're almost done with season 5, you guys. Okay. All right. Here we go.
I'm trying to save you, so why are we standing? I don't know, Don. It's very real. Was I supposed to spend the rest of my life feeling miserable about the basic TV?
Why are you with the show and comedy? Why are you with me? I don't know why I'm still with you. I mean, I used to know, but I don't.
Basic Teen TV.
All right. What's up, basic bitches? Whoop, 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 whoop.
It's the final episode.
It's the final countdown.
The final countdown.
All right.
Man, we're gonna throw like a full-on rager when we wrap up the show.
Oh, yeah, we should. All right. We're Basic Teen TV. We're a weekly podcast talking about 90s teen TV drama. We have been discussing Dawson's Creek for the last 5 years of our lives.
For real.
That's a fact.
That is not an exaggeration.
No. And we are at the very end of season 5. We're going to talk about episode 23 tonight. My name is Melissa.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Cindy.
All right, guys. We made it.
We made it, and this episode was probably one of the most annoying, maddening episodes that I've ever seen on Dawson's Creek.
Wow.
Chaos.
I know those are strong
was-
words, but I mean every one of them.
Okay. All right. Well, the episode is called Swan Song. So this title makes a little bit of sense.
Does it?
I mean, it should because it's,
'Cause
it's the end of
Joey's
freshman.
Swan Song?
No, it's the end of freshman year for everybody.
What is Swan? I mean, I know Swan Song is,
Like a farewell, right?
but it's like a,
Or like the final act or
I sound like
something.
such a dumbass. It's like a play. It's like a musical play. It's like a
Called Swan Song?
yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought it was just a term for like the end of something or like a farewell, a goodbye.
I thought Swan Song was like a
Like you'd hear somebody say like, "Oh, she's going out for her swan song." Like it's the final
But I think they said that based on the
play. Oh, I never knew there was a play called Swan Song.
Are you thinking Black Swan?
No.
That movie with
But they
the-
did Swan Song. I'm just gonna look it up. Right
All
now.
right.
You can cut this. We have 5
I mean,
hours.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
fi-
But now I want to know.
I don't have 5
I know.
hours.
I kind of want to know. So while Cindy looks that up, I can set the scene a little bit. So the episode opens up with Dawson at the airport, right?
Yeah.
He's on his little cell phone, and
he's riding up the escalator and he looks like a grown ass man.
yeah,
And
he's like looking slick.
he's wearing
looking
his
good.
brown leather blazer, and his haircut is really sleek, and he's put gel in it. So he looks more polished than we've ever seen him before.
right.
And he's on the phone. So, in last week's episode, we found out that he's flying out to LA for this internship. So when they open up this episode, we just think like, I noticed that Dawson looked different, but not different enough to wear this opening.
Yeah, I was like, how did he make this transition? It's been like a day.
a day. Right. Yeah.
Right. But
so
yeah,
it was
my immediate thought was like, oh, he's going to LA. He's got to like step it up.
right. Yeah. And he's on his cell phone and he's all business talking to whoever.
He's talking to Oliver. Oliver calls him and he's like, oh, hey, what's
Yeah.
up? We gotta
wait for so-and-so to give us the numbers on the so-and-so on the thingamabobs and, film and stuff and things.
business talk.
Yeah.
Finance talk.
And then he like turns and looks to his right or something and he sees Joey. And then Joey turns to her left and they lock eyes. And it's a little slow-mo.
It's in slow-mo.
Yeah, it's slow-mo. Them locking eyes with each other. And then we see them sitting at a table and they're having drinks. She's drinking a martini. He's having a beer because he's a man.
He's a man.
And Dawson is like,
Stupid.
and Dawson's like, oh my gosh, how long has it been? And Joey's like, 3-4 years? And Dawson's like, 5 years.
It's been 5 years, 6 months, and 28 days.
Right. So I was a little confused. I'm like,
2
why
hours.
have we just jumped ahead 5 years? Like what? I was immediately confused.
Yeah.
Immediately confused. But so this opening scene takes forever and they're talking about what they're doing with their lives, and Dawson has released a film and Joey's like, oh yeah, I saw it. It was really great. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your big premiere. I was working on my thesis. And then Dawson is like, I've been thinking about you a lot, or I had been thinking about you a lot. And, they go back to like, he goes back to like one scene back in their days. And he was like, does he say this? I don't know. You have to help me because I think he says this. He was like, I was going to tell you that I love you. Does he say that in this scene? Or does he mention
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Joey's like, oh, that's sweet. And then Dawson's like, well, so what have you been up to? And she's like, or no, she gets a phone call, right? Mm-hmm. So she's like, excuse me.
I know, that's so rude, by the way.
That is rude. Yeah.
I don't know if people did that back in the day when we first had access to cell phones. Like, people prioritized their cell phone ringing over face-to-face
Face-to-face.
conversation.
But I think in this case, she's at the airport to like pick up the person.
She is,
That's
yeah.
on the other end of the phone. So that's why she's like, I have to answer this
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
supposed to like, I'm meeting somebody here.
And they've
he's-
arrived.
Yeah, they've arrived. And he's like, where the fuck are you, bitch? And she's like, I have to take this.
And she's like, I'm having drinks with an old
friend. Yeah. And
And then it cuts to his face and he's like, so
And he's
butthurt
like,
by
who's
it.
that? Who's on the phone?
she's like, oh, that's my fiance. He's an environmental lawyer. And he's like, oh, wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. And she's like, well, I need to go pick him up. He's just flown in from New York, so I need to go pick him up. So they get up from the table, or she gets up from the table first, and he's still just sitting there. And
She's like, okay, bye.
yeah. And then she walks away a little bit, and then Dawson starts to stand up, and then she turns back around and she's like, Dawson, you and I had our shot. And I just think it's time for you to finally get over this, like to finally get over me, because, it's just pretty ridiculous at this point.
And pathetic.
And pathetic and sad. Yeah. And then some loud noise occurs, and then we see Dawson waking up.
It was a bad dream.
Yeah.
It was all a bad
nightmare.
It was all a nightmare. Yeah. So it's not 5 years in the future. It's just Dawson having a bad.
Thanks God for that.
So glad.
I was so worried that that's how things turned out for them.
I know. I was really worried that Dawson had like slick back hair and a brown leather coat.
Yeah, me too.
Flip phone.
It's terrifying.
So back to reality, to quote Eminem.
You don't know that song?
I don't
Cindy?
know that one.
Hello. It's like,
Do some of it.
I can't rap.
Oh.
It's what song
can.
is it?
Believe in
It's called-
yourself.
It's called Back to Reality.
Oh, is it?
No?
It's I
Back
think
to reality.
it's
Da, 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 da,
There you go. You can rap.
yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
You have to believe in yourself a little bit more.
It's off the 8 Mile soundtrack. I'm sure it was
That's why I don't know it.
You never saw 8 Mile?
You don't
Negative.
like Eminem?
Accurate.
Fine.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you didn't like Eminem.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, I like Eminem.
I like Eminem too.
Yeah. So again, back to reality. Or we could do back to life, back to reality, back to the here and now. Mhm. Is that better?
Hey, you guys can rap and sing.
Do you like that song?
Of course I like that song.
Okay, there we go. We'll use that one instead.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to kind of go in chronological order with this episode because a lot happens and it's kind of fragmented, like, up to this point.
But it's a lot of overlapping.
A lot of overlapping up to this point. I don't know if any of our basic bitches listeners have come to know that we're able to like break things down into chunks or like major storylines, major plot lines. But this episode, we're going to have to really break this one down and kind of go in chronological order. So
There's a lot to unpack.
there's a lot to unpack. So honestly, the next note that I have here in our little pre-production meeting notes is Dawson and Joey after their dinner. I don't know if there's anything before that we wanted to touch on. So
no, everyone's like about to part ways. Everyone's about to head off to their destination.
Right.
From Capeside.
Yeah. So Dawson and Joey and Audrey all go out to dinner in Capeside. And then at the end of dinner, Audrey's like, I'm just going to pop into this record store over here and buy some CDs for the flight. And she's like, and I know you guys have like some bullshit to talk through. So, okay, I'll see ya. So Dawson and Joey go walk out onto the dock. And Dawson says something about like, Joey, can you just promise me one thing? Don't marry any lawyers.
Tee.
She's like, what are you talking about? Why? Obviously, he didn't tell her that he had this like nightmare or whatever.
Yeah, she's like, well, what if he's like a good kind of lawyer, like a human rights lawyer or an environmental lawyer? And that's who she said in her dream that she was like married to an environmental lawyer.
It was very triggering for Dawson.
Yeah, he like
it's triggering.
He was like, nah, no.
So then they proceed to have, I guess, a more serious talk. And what do they talk about?
He was like, here's the real reason, or here's the real thing. Now I'm forgetting. It was going back to the conversation that
They had in his bedroom.
Yeah,
in the
because
prior
Audrey
episode.
had told Joey that Dawson had something to say, and he's like, "Here's the real thing I had to say."
Oh well, she asked him, right?
Yeah.
She straight up
she was
asked.
like, Dawson, why did you drive from New York to Florida?
He's like,
Because I love you. I
He's
love
like,
you.
I came down there to tell you that I loved you.
and she's like, "Well, why didn't you say that?" And it's like, "Bitch, you were like in a tent with someone else. What's he gonna like knock on the tent wall and be like, tap tap tap? I'm here to say I love you." You were preoccupied.
Yeah. And then he proceeds to lean in for a kiss. They talk some more.
Yeah,
I don't know yeah. I mean,
we
they
don't
do
have to get into the
They do
the
their
details.
Dawson Joey talk, and it's all
They run around in circles
Right.
for hours.
Yeah,
exactly.
wax poetic and
Yeah.
pontificate.
yeah
Yeah.
At nauseum.
on their tired relationship.
Right.
That we've been watching for 5 years.
It's 5 years and they still haven't banged.
They haven't
I
banged.
know.
Oh man, and if there is something that you guys should really want closure to, it should be that.
Is that what happens in season 6?
Yeah,
have
do
no
they ever
idea.
fucking bang?
Does
I
one
have
of them
no
die
idea.
after they bang? Like of a
What
heart
if they
attack or
died
something?
while they're banging?
Oh man, I would love that so much.
Wow.
Which one do you want to die? What if
Both,
they
I want them both to die.
both?
They're both like, ugh.
like the anticipation for the bang is like built up so much that once they finally do it, they both have heart attacks and like die.
I would
Like
love that.
Two 20-year-olds have
Yeah.
have heart attacks after sex or
Maybe they
during
have like
sex.
strokes or something. Like
Sounds great to
burst
me.
Blood vessels.
Oh
Great.
my gosh.
Let's do it.
Oh my goodness.
They just like bleed out.
Is this going to be a part of our fan fiction?
Yeah, there you go.
They bleed out.
All right. Anyway,
We would write some twisted stuff like that. Put it on the internet.
so Dawson goes in for a kiss, and
Joey, it looks like she's going to be into it for a second.
right, yeah,
And then she pulls away. And just like every other scenario in Dawson's Creek, one character's like really into a thing. Because Joey has been into this for a while. She's like wanted this. She wanted Dawson to tell her that he was going to Florida to see her. Like during that conversation on the bed. And she was like a little upset that that wasn't like the secret that he had to tell her. So it's all this like back and forth all the time.
Also, the mere fact of Joey asking that question, I mean, it's a rhetorical question because she knows why he went down there. Like, she just wants to
She
hear
was
it.
told why he went down there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, but she doesn't even need to be told. If she just found out that, like, oh, Dawson came down to Florida to see you, she knows why.
Yeah,
Like,
of course
why?
she knows. And she wants it.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, she knows. So like, why would she bring it up unless she wants it to go somewhere?
Yeah, and
Right.
like wants a kiss on the docks.
But she's such a bitch. I think
I agree.
she wants Dawson when he doesn't want her, and then as soon as he's like, yeah, let's do this, she's like,
NM.
I can't. No, this is too much for me.
It's like taking steps backwards, and I can't do this.
Yeah, I don't. We are no.
I mean, she kind of says something to that effect, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, it's toxic. It's really toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just do it or don't do it.
Shit or get off the pot.
Exactly. Thank you.
But that applies to every character. This whole show is nothing but shit or get off the pot. They're all like waffling and like kind of making a decision. This whole episode is nothing but this. They all have flights somewhere and then they're like backing out. It's chaos.
All right. Well,
Right.
let's
Yeah.
get into that.
So
Joey walks away. She's
Joey
like, I can't do
backs
this.
away. She's like, yeah, right. She says, I can't do this. Now it's the next day, and Dawson is coming by Joey's to pick up Audrey because they're both. Audrey is actually obviously from LA, and Dawson's going out there for his mentorship internship, and
SD ship.
SD. Oh,
sucking
okay,
that D
got
shit.
it.
Yeah, he's gonna suck some D.
I forgot that
gonna
y'all
suck
started
his
that.
D all the way to the top.
Good for you, Dawson.
I mean, that's how he got
do
the.
what you gotta
how
do.
else did he get that leather coat and that slick haircut?
Exactly. Also, how else would he get like a deal? He's not talented. I've seen his films.
He doesn't have a deal. This is just a
A mentorship.
mentorship,
Yeah, but
right?
in the 5 years in the future, he's all talking finances and stuff.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like
right.
really successful.
He's like a big shot. He's like 24, big shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he has some D's.
a lot of D's.
I was at a big shot when I was 24, and I was still essing some D's. Didn't get me anywhere.
I know.
Damn it.
That really hurts to think about.
I mean, well, you're essing the wrong D's. That's the problem.
Yeah. You have to like S the successful D's.
Yeah, of course.
SSD.
Suck successful D's.
Mhm.
Okay.
You can't SLD.
Suck
Loser-
D's.
Loser D.
Okay,
yeah,
got
no,
it.
loser D. That's
Yeah.
not going to do anything for you.
No. You're right. Y'all are right.
When you're right, you're right.
When you're right, you're right. Anyways, all right. Back to the story. So Dawson and Joey have kind of an awkward goodbye, and you see Dawson has a letter in his hand, right? And it's before Audrey comes out, right?
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
slips it into the mailbox.
He slips it into the mailbox, right? And then Dawson and Joey have this awkward goodbye.
And it really didn't have to be that awkward. I mean, they're like very good friends.
Well, he just got rejected though.
Yeah, well, he tried to take her suitcase or Audrey's suitcase or something, and she's like, I got it. Fuck off. And then he's like, so Joey, and she was like, everything's cool. I'll see you in a couple of months. Have a good time in LA. SMD. Bye.
but SSD.
SSD,
well,
right.
Dawson's got to figure that out for himself.
I think Dawson
I mean,
would
sometimes you do have to
S so many LDs
You have to
by
SL.
mistake.
You have to S some LDs before you get to
Before
the-
you realize that you are S and LDs.
Right.
And then once you realize you are S and LDs, you're like, oh my God, I got to change my life. And then you upgrade to SSD.
right.
Right. Because sometimes the LDs pretend to be SDs.
Ooh,
They do
yeah,
it a
they
lot.
do. Oh my gosh,
And
they
then-
do.
and
So then
then-
you're S. So then you're
Don't try.
SPLD.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
You're S and PLDs.
What?
Wait, you're S and PSDs. You're
PSDs.
pretend successful dicks,
Oh,
but they're really SLDs.
right. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so Joey is back to work at the Capeside Yacht Club, and she's rushing to get to work. And Bessie shows up because she's just gotten back from the market, and she's got all these groceries for the B&B. And Joey's like, "Hurry up! I need the truck. I'm late for work." And so right before Joey gets in the car, Bessie's like, "Hey, can you grab the mail?" She's like, "No, I'm running late." So we're led to believe that she's going to not get Dawson's letter or not get it till it's too late or whatever. But then Bessie shows up at Joey's work, and she starts talking to Joey about like, I think, I know that you think we need you and we don't, like you're going off and doing your thing now. And, you don't need to come back here. Like, go have your adventure, go live your life. And she Oh, well, she talks about how much Joey's grown up. And Bessie's like, you even look different. And Joey's like, what are you talking about? And so she slides Joey's passport to her. And Joey's like, I didn't even send this application in to get my passport, because this is going back to when Joey was supposed to go to Paris back in like season 3, I think. And she didn't go to Paris for Dawson. She stays in Capeside for Dawson, passing up an incredible opportunity to go to Paris. But Bessie like slyly sent in her passport application. So now Joey has a passport. And Bessie also hands Joey Dawson's letter. Then the next note that I have is that Pacey and Joey go to the airport. I think I'm jumping ahead a little bit, right?
Yeah. So,
well, we should cut to. I thought we were going to cut to the airport.
No, not yet. Also working in the marina area is Pacey. He's like
security guard now.
Marina security guard, since he doesn't work at that restaurant anymore.
Right.
Everybody's back in Capeside. And this is not canon at all, but he's as a security guard, he goes out into the pier deck slips
for boats
where the boats are. Anyways, there's some dude making a ruckus, making out with some chick and playing loud music, and he's like, hey man, can you fucking turn it down? I'm the security guard. And it's Danny,
Chef Danny,
the previous owner of the restaurant,
Civilization.
Yeah, and he's like getting all horned up with some chick,
some young chick.
Yeah. First of all, what's he doing in Capeside? Because dude lived in Boston, although he didn't, because
he had an apartment in Boston.
But Pacey was living in it in his absence. But then like they weren't talking, and then he like leaves the apartment. They weren't in communication or something, and then all of a sudden he turns up in Capeside and he's with some chick. And then Danny calls the chick by the wrong name, and she's like, "That's silly. That's not my name," and like. And then like disappears below deck, and then he's like, what about your wife? And he's like, oh, she left me because I'm a piece of shit. And he's like, yeah, that tracks.
But then Danny's also like, we're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah,
we're both fuck ups.
Yeah, he's like, look at me, this is you in 20 years, is it basically what he tells Pacey.
And then that chick is like, Danny, down here, I'm ready for you.
I'm naked.
I'm naked in the shower. And then he's like, bro, I gotta go. Been good seeing you. I don't know what you're doing with my apartment. Don't know if you're still in it. Don't know if Triangle Eyebrows is in it now, but I gotta go. I'm like busy.
Don't know where my wife is. Don't care. Not my yablum. Good luck with your life. Don't end up like me.
So that's probably like an enlightening moment for Pacey. He's like, oh, fuck, I don't want to end up like Chef Danny.
It's my future.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, Chef Danny's a tool.
He is a tool.
Chef Danny is a tool. I mean, I kind of always thought he was a tool. I don't know about you guys.
No, he's always been a tool, but he's just gotten toolier.
He has gotten toolier.
He just keeps getting toolier. And the fact that he's like, hey, guess what, Pacey? You're also a tool. Pacey's like, I'm not a tool. He's like, yeah, you are. You don't know it yet, but trust me, you're a tool.
Oh, the other thing I want to point out really quickly is that so at some point, I think this is before Pacey runs into Chef Danny on the pier, Audrey and Joey are just walking around Capeside, and they run into Pacey. And Pacey's like, hello, ladies. And Audrey's like, hey, dickhead. I was like, wow, could they say dickhead on...
I guess they could.
On network television?
Yeah, you can say like hell or damn.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
The rules around language are so bizarre.
But you can't say like shit or fuck.
I just didn't think that in 2001 that dickhead would have passed censorship regulations or whatever. But clearly, I mean, she said it, and she said it more than once, I think, or someone said the word dickhead more than once. Audrey said it first. Anyways, that kind of took me back. Yeah, I was like, wow, you can say dickhead on the WB. Yeah, like on the WB, which was supposed to be like a more family friendly network. I was like, all right,
older teenagers. So I think dickhead. They were like, "We kids talk like this. It's fine."
But why is dickhead okay, but shit is not?
Right.
I don't know.
I mean,
'Cause
shit is like
Shit's like the most family-friendly cuss word you could ever say.
everyone
Is
shits. Everyone poops.
I think shit is the most family-friendly cuss
I
word.
feel like damn or hell.
Yeah, but that now we're getting into religious
All right,
territory.
but damn.
Also religious territory. With
Is it?
damn.
I
yeah,
guess so.
A little
But
bit.
shit is like so family.
You're not saying
friendly.
God damn it. They weren't allowed to say God damn it, but you could say damn. And like fuck for sure. That's like the worst.
Oh, that's a definite no-no.
That's the worst.
Although on
Or
the
like
USA,
cunt.
although on the USA network,
You can't say cunt.
yeah, no, you can't.
Is that worse? Is that worse than fuck? What's worse, cunt or fuck?
Well, I think in Britain though, you can just like say cunt is like everyone says it. Like,
Yeah.
what's up, my cunts? Right? Don't they say that?
No, I
What?
don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought it was like they say it in the office. Like you get to the office and you're like,
What up, cunts?
What's up, my cunts?
No.
No?
no, I
Oh,
don't think
okay.
that's the
No.
thing that happens.
All right.
Anyways, what I was starting to say was that right now, currently on the USA network, you can say the word fuck. I think if it's past a certain time, because of my job, sometimes I work really late. And so at the end of my shift, I have the USA network on, and Chucky, you know, the remake of Chucky, which is now a series. I don't know if y'all knew about this, but now it's a scripted series.
Nope.
And I remember I'd be finishing up my work and Chucky would be on in the background, and I would just hear Chucky the doll just randomly say fuck. I would turn around, look at the TV and be like, oh, they're saying the F word on the USA net. I mean, it's cable, but like,
Well, back in the day,
because even on cable television, I thought that there were still some rules, like certain cable services like HBO and, you know, Showtime, like those were the cable stations, because those have always been premium.
you pay for those.
You pay for those.
And USA, I feel like, has always been included in your
cable
package.
right, yes. So that's why you could always say the bad words on channels like HBO and Showtime, but for the USA Network or HGTV,
HGTV. Could you imagine like House Hunters and they're like, fuck this place.
This place is a fucking dump.
that I was hearing that
Chip and Joanna Gaines get into a fight and they're just fucking fuck you bitch.
Oh man. Okay. Anyways, that was a long tangent as well. So I think now we're at the airport, right? So Dawson and Audrey are the first to show up. Sorry, did I skip something?
Do we want to talk about, before we enter the airport, Joey does open the letter,
Oh yeah. So
Does that happen before?
but we wanted to talk about that before everyone got to the airport.
Okay. All right. So we're jumping ahead, and then we're gonna kind of scoot back a little bit
So Joey has this letter
from
that
Dawson.
Bessie
Right.
left her at work.
Yeah.
And Joey's sitting on the docks and she like opens the letter and she's reading it from Dawson, and Pacey is on his shift and he walks by and he notices her reading the letter, and they come up with this scheme. Well, they have a conversation about what the letter is, and it's never let known what Dawson actually put in this letter.
Right.
So Joey then asks Pacey, like, don't you miss Audrey? Didn't you fuck this all up? And he's like, yeah, I miss Audrey like all the time. And then they both come up with this idea that they'll go to the airport. This is legit their idea. We will go to the airport and hijack their plans for flying. Like, we have to stop Audrey from flying to let her know that you love her, Pacey. And we
Right.
have to stop Dawson from flying.
We got to profess our love to them.
Yeah, and we have to like hijack your plans.
They're going to be gone for 8 weeks, but we have to tell them now.
Yeah.
It has to be it has to be done now.
Yeah, because if they don't do it now, then they'll just forget, because we
They'll
know
forget.
already, out of sight, out of mind on this show.
That's true.
If you go to Europe for a little bit, you're dead. We don't know you anymore. We forgot you ever existed. That's just how it works.
I mean, it is how it works in Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
So yeah, they come up with this plan where like we have to book it to Boston,
Logan International in Boston.
in Boston,
Yeah. Mhm.
which
Yeah.
we've determined may or may not be a 45-minute to an hour
drive from
From Sandwich.
from Sandwich.
aka Capeside.
hmm
Yeah. Yes.
So now
we're at the airport.
It's all set in the airport.
Right. Yes. So the first airport scene is Dawson and Audrey are the first to show up at the airport, and they're getting their shit together. And I think they're like at some snack place, like the Hudson News equivalent, whatever it was on
Jackson
the show.
News.
Jackson News.
It was called something else. I forget.
Yeah.
But like the airport, the rest of the show takes place in the airport, and there's like a lot of characters. There's a lot of people just packed into this airport.
Yeah,
And
it's a very busy airport.
But it's clearly a set, and it's I described it before. It's delightfully 80s. There's lots of brightly colored neon tile and like neon lights, and it's just fun. It's a fun airport.
It does look fun.
It's just fun.
Glass bricks and that kind of stuff. Just why did they make it look so 80s? Because this is we're into like early 2002 at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Logan's a little dated. Airports don't always.
I mean, look at
update.
LaGuardia.
Yeah, God, it's like
LaGuardia was stuck in the 60s until like 2 years ago.
yeah. And then when it
Yeah.
was in construction, it was like it was bad.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways,
And then Dawson like turns his head a little bit and he sees Jack and Jen. And they're like, "Hey, what's up? Oh my gosh."
Apparently
Everyone's flight is delayed.
apparently everyone in Capeside and the surrounding areas are all flying out of this airport on the same day at the same fucking time.
They're all coming in from the same place, either Capeside or Boston or whatever. So, I mean, this is the one major international airport. Hey, and also, I mean, if they're flying out to LA, you can't, I mean, maybe you could take a small regional airport from Capeside to LA, but it'd probably be like really expensive.
I'm just saying, I mean, we're about to get
then
into
it's-
more people that are also in the airport.
And then
it's the
especially,
first day of summer,
and then
everyone's going
especially
away.
for Jen and Jack, they definitely need to fly out of international airport. So that's why they're there.
But wouldn't they be in a different terminal probably if
Oh,
they're
yeah,
taking an
I'm
international
sure.
flight? Everyone's
Yeah,
in the same
whatever.
terminal, like
Yeah.
the same day, the exact same time.
well, it's a TV show.
Yeah. So they're all sitting around. And then while they're sitting there, they see like this one plane is like deboarding, and the ex-frat brother, Eric, is coming off the plane, and Jack's like, "Oh, holy mother of God." Like, no.
But everyone knows who he is.
How does Dawson know who he is?
Well, maybe they were like talking about the whole dramatic situation.
Well, yeah. And
'Cause he was
actually, I
such an
remember.
asshole.
Well, also, I remember Dawson has been over to the frat house. So he's
And this guy's like
partied with these bros.
really an asshole. He ruined Jack's life.
Yeah. He's the reason that Jack got kicked out of the frat. He lied about
But they reconciled a little bit because he helped him
help him cheat on his
study cheat
calculus
for his exams that he
Right.
passed. He got
Yeah.
a D in or whatever. So they like kind of become friendly again. But yeah, dude gets off an airplane.
And he's like,
Once again, at the exact same time that everyone's sitting there waiting to board a flight.
he flew home for just a second to try and tell his parents that he was gay, and he couldn't do it. So he decided to come back to Boston and spend the summer there. He's like, I'll just get a job or something.
Is he gonna
and he's like,
live
what do
in
you?
the frat house by himself? What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
maybe.
Can you stay in the... I guess you can stay in the frat house like during the summer. I don't know how frat houses work. I mean, like a dorm room, you can't just like stay in there.
Right.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't-
sure. Maybe sorority and fraternity houses work differently. Yeah. And then like if you're taking summer school, maybe you would still need a place
All
to
right.
stay. So and he's like, so where are you off to, Jack? And he's like, oh, I'm gonna go to Costa Rica with Jen.
Jack's like, I'm trying to have the trip of a lifetime. I'm trying to like go to Costa Rica and have fun.
Yeah. And then Eric's like, okay, well, like I can wait here with you. I can wait around. You can hang out a little bit. And he's like, no, it's all right. I've got my friends here. He's like, all right, man, we'll have fun in Costa Rica and we'll see you when you get back. And Jack's like, yeah, man, see ya. So that's that. And then we see Dawson back at Jackson News. I guess he's getting more snacks.
Jackson News.
And he sees Grams. Like, Grams is like trying on some fun sunglasses. She's like, oh my God, Dawson Leary? What are you doing here? Dawson's like, what are you doing here?
What is everyone doing here?
Everyone's at the airport.
Everyone's at
Jesus.
the airport.
It's airport day.
It's airport day in Capeside
Everyone goes to the airport that day and hangs out at Jackson News.
for hours.
Oh my goodness. So Grams is kind of it's only with one dude, but she's kind of a slut.
No, she's just like living her best life. She's
got-
really hitting it off with him.
She's got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's her boyfriend.
Turns out they're going to Vegas.
They're going to Vegas. What do we think they're going to do in Vegas? Going to the chapel and we're gonna get
Married.
Going to the chapel and we're
Gonna get married.
okay.
Yeah, she's like, don't tell anybody, but like Mr. Smalls and I are like sneaking off to Vegas. Don't tell anybody because it's funner when it's a secret.
And don't tell Jen.
That's where it's kind of slutty to me. She's like, it's much more exciting when it's a secret.
You know, she had a really rough life probably, and she's very, very religious.
We've never been shown any indication that she's had a rough life.
well, her husband died and her kids are
Her
garbage.
husband, who she was married to for like 50 years.
Yeah, but
well, he died. It's sad.
Yeah, that's what I'm basing this off of the context that we've been given.
Right.
And she's very religious, so she's just like cutting loose a little bit. And
Yeah.
she met her new boo thang, and they're just gonna go to Vegas and get married.
Get married.
Yeah, and then she had another boyfriend after her husband died who also got sick and died, didn't she?
Oh yeah, AI Brooks.
Yeah.
They had a thing.
I forgot about that. See,
So now
she
she's-
deserves this.
Yeah, so now she's just trying to date
That's
a
the
guy who's
most
not gonna
sad
fucking die.
relationship she's been in. Like, she was actually relieved that her husband died because he'd been sick for so long. But the AI Brooks thing really tore her up.
Yeah. Are you crying?
No, what?
Yeah, because didn't he was sick when they started dating and he didn't tell her.
Right.
So
and then
she-
he started not taking his pills.
Yeah,
which-
so she got sucker punched into a situation there.
But this new guy seems really cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's never
spoken.
He's-
spoken
he's
two
never
words
had
at all.
one line.
He's always in the background, like I'm a nice guy, and
well, you know, that's for the best. I want my men to like be in the background and be quiet and go to Vegas with me and buy me sunglasses from Jackson News.
you're like, sweetheart, don't talk too much, okay? You just be quiet.
You just stand there and look good.
pretty.
So yeah, they're sneaking off to
They're
do
sneaking
God
off.
knows what in Vegas.
But Grams does mention about Jen's parents contacting her, reaching out to her, to Dawson. Dawson's like, oh, really? Yeah, she didn't tell me. So then Dawson goes
Guess
to
what, Dawson? 'Cause
Jen.
it's none of your fucking business.
I mean, this is classic Dawson, like butting in where he doesn't need to be.
He like pulls Jen aside and has a little talk with her.
Yeah, like he knows best.
And he's like, are you sure you really want to go to Costa Rica? I just know everything from when we were dating. And she was like, oh, you're going to use my words against me now? And he's like, no, I'm just saying, I know how much it hurt you, what your parents did. And maybe you should reconsider this once in a lifetime, possibly trip to Costa Rica. It's an 8-week trip. Stop hijacking your friends' fun.
Yeah, they're literally
Let them live.
They've literally already paid for their tickets and their hostels and whatever else and their luggage, and they're all packed up. They're at the airport. They would already be on a flight if it wasn't delayed. It's too late now, Dawson.
Let her live. Let
can-
her be.
She can repair her relationship with her parents
When
later.
she gets back.
Later.
I wrote in my notes, Dawson, fuck off.
I can see it.
It's in all caps.
Why is Dawson always butt-in-ski to everybody's fucking business?
I know. Do you know how pissed I would be if you guys, well, you would never be at JFK at the same time as me taking a flight somewhere on the same exact day. But if you like cornered me in JFK and tried to get me to not go to Japan because, I don't know, like my dad had
God.
a summer house or some shit.
Yeah, I'd be like, Cindy, you know, I know you've been planning this trip and you've spent a lot of money and time and you've been talking about it for a long time. And you're really excited and I'm excited too. But like your dad has like another like bicycle for you. And you should really like go back to Baltimore and like get this bicycle.
Bicycle.
I mean, that's the equivalent.
Oh,
Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
And you'd be like, you know, we've been friends for a long time, and I know how much you've been talking about your relationship with your dad, and maybe now's the time to mend it. Now's the time after you spent so much money on airfare and hotels.
right. And your dad has asked that you come.
So you should just do that.
Yeah, so you should drop whatever you've got planned and do what they want you to do. And he hasn't considered that you have anything else going on, and he doesn't care, and it doesn't matter because that you should just do what he wants to do and whatever you got going on.
I'd be like, Victoria, what the fuck? Why are you here at JFK right now? Can you fuck
I'm
off?
really concerned about your relationship with your dad.
So Jen kind of placates Dawson a little bit. She's like, all right, fine, I'll think about it. But we're led to believe that she's not really thinking about it, that she's still going to go forward and go to Costa Rica.
As she should, because she's already at the fucking airport.
Right. Yeah. So she comes back to where Jack is sitting, and Jack is just like contemplating Eric. I'm like, this one really got me upset because I was like, you don't know Eric.
Correct.
You don't know Eric at all.
Correct.
And Jack is considering
All he knows about Eric is that Eric
is gay.
But that he also like fucked up his last semester or whatever.
I mean, that's one of the reasons that Jen gives Jack as a reason to like, I don't know, stay or like help Eric through coming out of the closet. Because Jen's like, you know, a good person is someone who can be nice to someone even though they've wronged you. And I know you're a good person, Jack. And he's like, yeah, you're right, I am.
Well, be a good person when you get back from Costa Rica.
Exactly.
Also, because if Eric is back in Boston, what does he really have to like work through? It's not like he has to tell anybody. Like, he's going to be the only one in Boston. None of his frat brothers are going to be there. He doesn't have to worry about coming out to them until next semester. Like, what does Eric have to work through this summer?
In 2 months.
Right.
The show is making it seem like Jen and Jack going to Costa Rica and having like a summer like vacation, like they're making it seem like they're doing a thing that's like really selfish and really stupid
And like crazy in the first place.
Yeah, and it's just like insane that they've planned a vacation for themselves and like gone to the library to go on the net to like get it all figured out, and now they're at the airport and they're doing this, and now they're there and they're reevaluating their priorities, and like we shouldn't do this.
Yeah,
is
that was
stupid.
crazy in the first place.
It's fucking stupid, and we've spent all this money and it was really dumb. What we should be doing is like going to the Hamptons with our estranged parents, or spending the summer
Torturing ourselves for the next 2 months.
A man that got us kicked out of our frat and sent us on a downward spiral in the second half of our first semester. That's what we should be doing. with
This
our time.
part of the episode it really sent me into a like tailspin. My note says, OMG, I hate this fucking show. I cannot. Jack is bailing on Costa Rica to go spend the summer with that asshole. Just go to Costa Rica for like a month, for fuck's sake. I was really having a meltdown alone watching this, taking notes, like scribbling them angrily in my notebook. It just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. I wrote in my notes, I just called everyone dumbasses in all caps and underlined it twice.
Underlined.
Twice, yeah. So Jack is like, are you going to be really mad at me if I don't go to Costa Rica? And Jen's like, well, yeah, I'm going to be mad at you. You're bailing on me. But we're friends and I love you, so I'll forgive you.
Go make whatever dumb decision you're about to make.
Yeah.
Also, if the three of us were at the airport, we were getting ready to go on vacation.
We just went to Mexico.
Yeah,
not that
and if
long
we got
ago.
to the airport and you like ran into somebody and you're like, hey, are you guys going to be mad if I bail on this thing that we've been planning so I go hang out with this person I just ran into? Yes, I'm going to be mad.
I mean, I might not be mad that you will not join if you already paid. You know what I mean? Like if we had settled up in terms of what we spent on the flights and the hotel, I wouldn't be mad. I would just really question what's going on with you. And then we'd spend the rest of the trip talking shit.
Oh yeah.
We'd be like, what is wrong with her?
That would be the whole trip, is just talking shit on whoever failed.
Especially if it was some person you ran into at the airport that was also mean to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a toxic friend, and then you're like, I have to go manage this toxic person. You're like, but do you? I don't think you do.
Definitely don't.
You definitely don't. But whatever. We're supposed to suspend disbelief. Suspend disbelief is the term I'm looking for.
Yes.
When watching this show. Meaning, like, this kind of shit, we're just supposed to be like, well, it's
you just accept it.
yeah, it's just a TV
Don't question it too much.
It's a TV show. It's a dumb TV show, and all the writers are high.
For sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what Cindy said like a few seasons ago. You're like, anytime I watch this show, I just go with it. I don't ask questions. I can't remember exactly what you said, but I posted it on our Instagram.
I mean,
that very quote.
You'll make yourself crazy if you keep questioning.
Well, this is why you'll
choices.
always bring up the stripper and the McPhee parents.
I mean, some things I just can't let go.
No, I mean, some of this little stuff, I'm like, this dumb plot point. But those are like big plot points that they just like didn't follow up on. Like big major plot points.
In the grand scheme of things, it wasn't really, because I mean, other than the fact that it was attached, or that it was a connection with Jen, like, you know, I feel like, anyways, I don't want to get into it because
we don't have to get into the weeds.
I don't ever. Yes.
All right, let's talk about the Pacey and Audrey.
Well, wait, hold on, because we just have to slip this in here that Dawson ran into that director who fired him. So the director is also at Logan International Airport.
He lives in LA. He's like a Hollywood director.
Yeah,
but he's at Jackson News.
Departing from, I want to make that known. He's departing from that airport.
Yeah, well, I mean, Boston is a big city.
Yeah,
I mean, he's on his way to New York. You know, the other major movie.
Sure, I know of a lot of layovers that happen when you travel from LA to New York. You always have a layover in Boston.
Anyways, so we just had to slip that in there because he shows up a little bit later. So now, because I think we've already set this up, that Pacey and Joey have hatched a plan to speed over to the airport to profess their love to their respective love interests. And Pacey tries it a couple ways. His first way is to use the, what did y'all call it?
Courtesy phone.
The
white
Thank
courtesy
you.
phone.
I didn't know. Is that real?
Yeah.
I don't know about the courtesy phone thing, but like, I know that because it's happened to me where I have had the, I don't know, flight attendants or whatever call my name over the intercom because I've left something on the plane. And like, that's what that reminded me of. Like, or like when I've almost missed my flight, like final boarding call, Melissa Martinez, you know, come get on the flight. But,
can you get
I've heard
incoming calls on a courtesy phone?
I don't know.
I mean,
No,
I don't know that they're a thing now because everybody has cell phones. But yeah, it used to be like somebody's trying to call you or get in touch with you at the airport.
Because Pacey was on a payphone, right?
Well, I think he had to go.
I thought he was in the airport. Like,
Yeah,
I thought
he was in the airport, so he went to like
using
the desk.
the intercom, right? Yeah.
No. We're getting ahead of ourselves. He's in the airport, and so he goes to like the front desk, and he's like, I need to get in touch with somebody who's like at the gate. And so they're like, okay, we'll page them to pick up a courtesy phone, and then you can talk to them on the phone.
Oh.
So then he's like, so then they're talking on the phone, and he's like, I'm sorry, I love you. Get out of line. Leave.
He legit says, leave.
Yeah, come back through security so we can talk. And she was like, no.
She's like, you have to do
harder."
better than that.
And then you need to try harder.
And
Pacey.
hangs up.
Yeah.
So then he goes and he tries to like, he can't afford it because he can't go to the gate to get her because this is post 9/11. So you can't just walk up to the gate. So you have to have a ticket to get through security. He can't afford
But he can't afford a ticket.
Yeah. So then he goes and he makes his way into the security room with all the cameras and stuff. And like, he tries
Air
to
traffic control.
Yeah, like tries to like bribe the security guard to like let him back or something. And the guard's like, no, go fuck off. What are you doing in here? And then somehow manages to convince the security guard to let him use
Well, he tells him, like, hey, I'm here to tell the woman that I love. I'm here to profess my love to her. You got to help me out, bro. The security guard's like, no. I don't know how he actually convinces. I mean, he does say
bribes
that.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, right. He does bribe him.
Because he's
That's
like,
right.
well, how much were you planning on spending on a ticket? So I guess the security guard takes less than the ticket.
Yeah. Whatever Pacey has in his pockets.
$20.
Yeah, it can't be more than $20.
So Pacey then gets on the intercom and he professes his love to Audrey. And
For the entire...
Yeah, everyone stops.
The entire airport.
And he's like, I know that I hurt you
Cringe.
with my propensity for older women.
Yeah.
I was like, did he really have to say that part?
I
Like,
know. To the whole airport.
I feel like you're just making it worse when you
For sure.
when you bring that back up again.
Yeah, don't bring up triangle eyebrows. Jesus.
I know.
Too soon.
Way too soon. But it pulls at Audrey's heartstrings, and she meets Pacey. I guess she went back through security. She meets Pacey in some lobby in the airport, and then they decide that they're now going to drive together to California.
Why?
So Audrey's plans are still
Why?
Audrey's plans are still on track. She's still going to California like she's always intended. It's just now that she's got Pacey in tow,
But why?
And they're driving.
and they're driving.
It's going to take
It doesn't make sense.
one of the 8 weeks.
Well, it's going to be an adventure.
No, I'd rather have the adventure there.
Well, it's
And
not
then
an
you just
adventure
buy
for
him
it's
a
not an
ticket.
adventure for Audrey. She's from LA. This cross country road trip is the adventure for her, as well as Pacey.
With the guy who like cheated on you with triangle eyebrows.
Well,
Yeah, like yesterday.
Yeah, maybe don't commit to that long of a drive. Get him a ticket. If he sucks and you realize you made a mistake once you get to LA after you flew there, get his ass
Yes.
a flight back.
Send him back. Be like, bye.
return to sender.
Exactly.
Well,
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 as
Well,
much
well,
as
well.
as much as it annoys you guys that they're driving, and they're
It also
having
kind of
they're
annoys
having
me-
so much fun together.
if I'm being honest, it annoys me that Audrey gave him a second chance. He really fucked up. And I know we're all Team Pacey, but that was like whack what he did.
Oh yeah, totally whack.
yeah, the minute another woman was like, look at my eyebrows, he was like,
He's like, I can't handle it.
all in. It didn't take much. It literally didn't take
I know.
much.
All she had to do was sexually harass him in the office, and he's like, I'm down.
Yeah. There was little to no resistance from him. So
No, yeah.
basically
That's a red flag.
he's only loyal if nobody offers themselves.
and that's a problem.
it's a problem because apparently every woman out there thinks that Pacey's a hot piece of ass, even though he's like a 19-year-old that looks like a 13-year-old, like a baby face and like a doughy body, and all
Doughy
these
body.
33-year-old women are like, I really liked you. Why? What's happening right now? Does he have like a big dick that we don't know about? Like what is
I mean,
going
that
on?
must be what
Maybe
it
he
is.
does. Yeah, maybe he does.
But
Yeah.
And he's
Triangle
also-
Eyebrows never saw it, did she? Did she grab him at some point?
Well, yeah.
Maybe she grabbed it. Yeah.
When they were like hot and heavy on the couch.
through
maybe
the
she'd,
pants.
like,
Through the pants. I mean, over the pants.
over the
through the
Through
pants.
the pants.
wow. She's
mean,
like a
that would-
sorcerer.
I mean, that would be a legit handy. No, I meant over the pants.
Through the pants. Right through.
Well, so I guess we just have to wait and see where their relationship ends up. I mean, as of now, Audrey is in the process of forgiving him, which means a cross-country road trip to LA. So
I was bummed about that.
Joey's plan is, because she does have money, which I mean still kind of confuses me as well. Like, where did Joey get all this money? Like, she's working as a waitress at the yacht club. Like, I feel like she should have just as much money as Pacey. Also, she hasn't been working all semester.
Right.
Pacey's had a job this whole time.
Yeah, he's had a job. They keep like
maybe
getting promoted and whatever, and he's like
Yeah.
head chef at a restaurant, and he hasn't been paying rent because he's been like
That's true.
couch surfing essentially.
maybe he's
So
just really bad with his money.
he should be the one with the money.
Yeah, totally. Anyways, Joey is able to purchase a ticket, but she makes the stipulation that it has to be refundable. And the agent's like, well, where do you want to go? And she's like, I don't care anywhere. Just as long as it's refundable. She's like, he's like, you're going to have to tell me where you want to go. She's like, fine, Milwaukee. And he's like, God, that's boring.
Lame. Next.
And she's like, okay, fine, whatever, Paris. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, Paris is a great choice. So she buys a refundable ticket to Paris and is able to get through security. And then we have a wonderful montage of Joey running through the airport, bobbing and weaving through all
A la every rom-com from like the 80s and 90s.
Except usually the rom-coms have like some sort of, the soundtrack's a little better. It's like uplifting, romantic, like swelling romantic music. This is like 80s synth rock.
Yeah.
It's
kind of had a
as
video
she's tearing through the airport.
kind of had a video game vibe
Yeah,
to it a
it
little
was
bit.
weird.
It was weird.
It like
Yeah.
didn't match the moment. You know what I mean? The moment's supposed to be like romantic.
I mean,
and
it was
This
a
was
little-
like an action movie.
It was a little bit tense. Like I got a tense vibe from the.
I
from-
definitely got a tense vibe from
Well,
it.
and so that kind of lends itself to the moment where she's like, is she gonna make it in time? Is she gonna get there in time to see Dawson before he gets on the plane? You know, so little tense.
Yeah,
you
it was
know.
an interesting choice.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, you know,
Guess what? She makes it.
yeah.
Newsflash.
She makes it.
She's like, Dawson. And he's like, what? I'm getting ready to get on a plane.
He's like, this has been a crazy ass day at
He's
the
like,
airport.
oh, you're also at the airport? Guess what? Everybody's at the airport today. This is a place to be. The fucking airport.
So Dawson gets out of line and they have their little talk. And what does she say to him? I mean,
I love you too. At
no point
at
does
the most
she-
inconvenient time for you possible.
At
'Cause
no-
it's all about me.
at no point does she try and convince Dawson to stay.
no, she doesn't do
Dawson automatically starts to consider it on his own. Mm-hmm. And
He's
she's
like, babe, you want me to stay, babe? And
Yeah.
she's like, please, no.
She's
Yeah.
like, for the love of God, one fucking person today should do the thing that they came here to do.
Follow through.
So she's like, no, you get on the plane, you go to LA, you do LA shit, and then we'll reconnect when you get back.
If it's meant to be, it'll
Right.
still be meant to be when you return.
in 8 weeks.
she says that
Yeah.
that in so many words. She's like, well, you know, you go do your thing because this is your dream, and we'll pick up where we left off.
Sure.
You know? And Dawson's like, are you sure? Yeah, yeah, please go.
Babe, you
like,
sure?
Yeah.
She's like, yes, babe, I'm sure.
Yes, babe.
Babe, you want to come with me? She's like, no, I do not.
He's a little confused. He's like, yeah, but I mean, then why are you telling me all this? Because I mean, you like didn't even want to kiss me last night.
She's like, well, now I do.
Yeah, she's like, well, now I do. And so then she kisses him.
And it's such a romantic kiss.
And then you hear the
And then
flight attendant in
Her
the
flight
background.
attendant's
Like,
like, sir, are you going to get on the plane, sir?
are you going to get on the plane
And he's
now?
so overwhelmed he can't even answer, and Joey has to answer for him. And she's like, she has some tears in her eyes, and she's like, yes, he'll be getting on the flight.
So he gets on the flight, and then we get kind of like a montage of where everybody is now. I mean, whether they're in a car or in the plane. We see
Jack
a little
is with that idiot, that
in
asshole.
some coffee shop, right?
Yeah, they're like getting a brew at the pub.
Worth
Not
it.
even a brew. It's coffee.
Really?
They're drinking coffee. Yes.
So he skipped here's what's going to happen. He skipped an entire 8-week trip to Costa Rica so he can get coffee with some closeted homo twice. And the rest of the time he's going to be like
Hanging out.
Hanging out. I was going to say hanging out with Graham.
No,
but
she's
No,
gone.
she's
She's in
in Vegas.
yeah. So he's just there by himself. And then he's going to be like, why? He's just going to call Jen and be like, do your parents have more bedrooms? Because I'd like to come to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's going to be like, please do, because I hate my
I'm
parents and I
losing my
don't know why
mind.
I'm here. We should have just gone to Costa Rica.
My stripper half sister is here, and it's crazy time up
Super
here.
awkward.
Get your ass up here.
Yeah, there's some major drams happening. You don't want to miss it.
I wish Dawson's Creek would only cover the portions that they don't cover. Like Victoria had mentioned earlier that they always cut to, like after this season, they're going to cut to fall. And we'll just hear about their adventures over the summer. I wish Dawson's Creek was only the summer months.
Yeah, we don't ever get to see the fun stuff that they do over the summer. We only get to see like the boring day-to-day minutia during the school year
Pontifications.
of their like
That is
scheduled
true.
life. But at the summer, when you have like all the fun and the adventures, you
No,
get
I
in
wanna
all the
see
trouble.
that.
No, we don't get to see any of
I
that.
want to see the stripper. I want to see Jack realize that he made a mistake with this asshole.
like the whole boat trip with Jen and Pacey.
We missed
With
all
Joey
the
and
banging.
Pacey.
Joey and Pacey,
Yeah.
whatever her name is, the two of them were like on a boat out in the ocean,
Banging.
banging and
I wanna
writing
see
in their
that.
journals and
And going to see Tennessee
ropes,
Williams'
sails.
house.
Yeah. I want to see that shit.
And like
No.
tanning.
We
the
don't get to
summer
see any of
months.
the cool shit. We just get to see them be like, should
Well,
we kiss? Let's not
that's
kiss.
what
I
you
like
can-
you. I don't like you.
That can be part of your fan fiction.
Okay. We'll add that to the list.
Cindy and I are going to write fan fiction.
And it's going to be wild.
it's going to be off the wall, and it's going to be a little dirty.
A little
Very dirty.
I was
It
gonna
might-
say you're writing fan fiction with this girl. You think it's gonna be a little dirty?
It might also be a little bloody.
Touchdown to temptation.
It's going to be dark.
It is going to be dark. I mean, we're just going to go to the places that the Dawson's Creek writers are afraid to go.
Yeah, we're going to get real, and it's going to be real.
We're gonna
All right.
get real,
And it's gonna be-
be real.
Are you ready for this realness?
They might not be ready for it.
It's going to be really real.
Okay, hold on. I was starting to talk about the montage. Okay, I was starting to talk about the montage.
Okay,
talk about the montage.
We see a little bit of Pacey and Audrey in the car, and she's just like tickling his neck as he's driving. So they're on their way to LA. Then we see Jen sitting in her. So Jen switched her flight from Costa Rica to New York, and the only thing that they had available was first class. And she's like, I don't need first class. I want to be in coach with my people. And he's like, if you want to get to New York, this is it. So she sits in first class, and you see like the flight attendant handing her a hot towel. And then the film director that fired Dawson sits right next to her. And he's like, I don't know what he says to her. I mean, he comes off like a douche. And Jen's like, what do you do? He's like, I'm a filmmaker. And she's like, is anything I would have seen? He's like, yeah, I can't remember the name of the movie
Me
that he
either.
was supposed to have done. And Jen's like, oh yeah, I saw that. He's like, oh really? What'd you think? She's like, it kind of sucked. And he's just kind of like, well, damn shit. Okay.
Damn shit. Okay. Well, damn shit.
Well, he kind of turns away from her and is just like I don't know,
I
feels
should start saying that more often when someone
feels very dejected.
when
What?
someone like rejects me. I should just be like, "Oh, well, damn shit.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we see Dawson sitting down in his seat, and then some like curly haired redhead sitting
I
next
thought
to
this
him.
was going to go somewhere. I thought maybe it was going to go
Well, I mean, I'm wondering if it will. I mean, we
like
don't know.
they'll start dating. Like
we don't know. We don't know.
Hey, somebody new into the mix.
But I mean, you're probably right. It probably won't go anywhere.
no, it's not.
well,
it's
she
not.
was like nervous about flying. And
She hates
sat
flying.
Down. Yeah,
And she's like, if I grab your arm, like, don't think I'm weird. And then Dawson is like, you know what? I think everything's going to be okay.
"Can I tell you my worst nightmare?
What?
When I sit down on a plane and someone sits down next to me and they speak to me." And we've seen that twice in this episode. Two different people, like it's implied that they're gonna maybe have conversations throughout the flight.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want to talk to a stranger. The minute a stranger sits down next to me, some older dude, and they want to like start up conversation, I go, "Oh, well, damn shit." Okay. I
Like,
hate it.
hi, I'm Todd.
I
You're like,
have-
well, damn shit.
Well, damn shit. There goes my flight. There goes my fun alone time.
I have not once had a stranger talk to me on a plane.
Dude, when I went to college in Chicago, I was flying all the time to come home. And this was like back before people always had earbuds in. So like you would have to plan to bring a CD player or like the first gen iPods or whatever onto the flight. So sometimes I didn't always have it. And like older guys during that time didn't get the hint when you had your little earbuds in or whatever. They didn't understand that meant I don't want to talk. And I've had many old dudes tell me their life story. I mean,
Yeah.
luckily the flight from Chicago to Baltimore is not that long, but even still, it's less of an occurrence now because I'm older.
Yeah.
But also I think like we all understand what it means when someone has.
I had this happen to me once where I hate the middle seat. I prefer windows, but and my second choice will be an aisle seat. But I was on whatever airline had assigned seating, and so I was in the middle seat, and there was a young-ish woman. She looked to be maybe about the same age as me, at the window seat, and then a gentleman sitting on the other side of me, and they started up a conversation, and they were flirting hardcore, and I'm in the middle.
What the fuck?
Right. And I kid you not, this happened. I like bent down to get something out of my bag. And while I was bent over, rifling through my bag, they like exchanged numbers over my back.
Oh my God.
And I don't remember this actually happened or not, but like if it didn't happen, I should have been like, do you want to switch seats with me? Because y'all are clearly hitting it off.
Yeah.
And I think that
I don't want to be in the crossfire.
And
Yeah, it's also just rude.
It's rude.
It
Quit
is
talking across me.
It was so fucking embarrassing for me too. I was like, I am getting hit on over me. Like I am like an innocent bystander in this. I'm catching the fire from both sides. I'm getting hit from both sides. It's fucking embarrassing. And like either I asked if one of them wanted to switch with me, or the guy might have asked if he could switch with me. You know, I think I might have turned to the woman because I was like, I'd prefer a window seat. You know, I'm like, do you want to sit here?
I prefer that aisle seat.
So you can continue to flirt
so I can go pee and get away from them.
So you can continue to flirt with this motherfucker. And I honestly
I've never had that happen.
I can honestly can't remember how it actually ended up. But yeah, I just remember, I remember the feeling of embarrassment. Like, I can't believe this is fucking happening to me.
Well, I'd just be so annoyed.
Yeah. And like he bought a drink, and he bought a drink for her.
Stop it.
And he didn't buy a drink for
like
me.
They're at a bar.
I know. Yeah.
Wait, where were you flying from and to?
I can only guess that it was some flight between New York and Dallas. You know, it was either from Syracuse to Dallas or from LaGuardia to Dallas. I can't even remember the year this was, but I mean, the two major places that I have lived are New York and Dallas. So I can just guess that it was, you know, and the flight from New York to Dallas is not short.
Yeah.
a 5-hour flight, right?
No, it's like 3.
Oh,
A nonstop flight is 3.5.
so
But I mean, but if you're in the middle of that is
No,
a
that's so
long,
annoying.
fucking
Awkward.
3
And they're
hours.
acting like they're at the bar and like chit-chatting and buying drinks for each other.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. I feel like if he were a real gentleman, even though he wasn't hitting on me, like the gentleman thing for him to do would have been like, if I'm going to be stuck in the middle of this, like, can I get you a drink as well?
That's the least he could have done.
The least he could have done.
were they just pretending like you didn't exist?
Yeah.
Even though you're sitting
weird.
right in the middle. That's weird.
It's weird. It was awkward. It was embarrassing. It was mortifying. It was, oh my gosh. It was one of the worst flights I've ever been on.
I would have said something. Be like, either switch or shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But don't keep talking over me and I don't
buying drinks and like
Yeah,
hanging out. I'm sitting right in between the two of you.
Yeah, I'm here. I exist.
You're exactly. I mean, for like being so rude as to flirt with the woman who's sitting on the other side of me, like at least buy me a fucking drink.
I mean, I understand you like see someone and you're trying to shoot your shot.
Yeah, no.
Like I get that.
Yeah.
But still have some awareness. And if there's a person in between you, I don't know, just
as
like
soon as they started flirting with each other, because I don't think that it should have been me to be like do one of you want to switch? Like, if he were a gentleman, he'd be like, hey, can I switch with you so I can sit next to her? Like, he should have fucking manned up and,
Yeah.
had some cojones. Cojones,
hon.
Anyways, so the last thing that happens is Joey goes back to the ticketing agent and she's like, I'm back to return my ticket. And the agent is like, oh, I'm sorry that you're like, it's almost like he forgot that he sold her the ticket in the first place.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah, 10 minutes ago. And he's like, oh, Paris is like really beautiful this time of year. I think y'all said, he said it's beautiful in the springtime. And then Joey, you see like this like light bulb go off in Joey's brain. And then she starts to smile. And then the show freeze frames on her grin.
But it was a weird grin.
Oh,
It
it's that little
was.
like half a grin that she does where she like smiles like she's having a stroke or something.
Her eyes are really wide,
Yeah. But
And
like
so like,
tweaked out in the corners,
Yeah.
She looks like manic smiling,
Yeah,
and they
she's like-
freeze framed on that.
She's like, should I go to Paris?
Should I?
I want to go to Paris.
again, this is a callback to, I think I already mentioned it, a callback to when she was supposed to go to Paris back in like season 3 and she decided not to go because of Dawson. So now's her chance. So
Somebody should go on vacation because
We're-
everyone else has bailed.
yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. So the big question is
Will she or won't she?
did she or did she not go to Paris?
I think she did.
Yeah, I think she did.
I
And
hope
then
she did.
Season 6 will pick up and she's back and they're all back to school and they're like, how was Paris? And she's like, it was really great. And I asked
I
her to
did
go,
this and this and
I did all
this.
And I
this.
met this dude and I banged.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
banged a French dude for a little while. Yeah. And then
Wait, has
and-
Joey banged?
Yeah, Pacey.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot.
God.
It's like I haven't been watching the show.
No, that was the whole point. Like, Joey and Dawson lost their virginity, but to not each other.
I know,
as they were
I know.
supposed to, because Jen banged Pacey, and no, Joey banged Pacey. I mean, Jen banged Pacey.
Oh
too.
my
No,
God, what?
no,
Wait.
no.
Jen
no.
and Pacey have never banged.
I don't think so. No, they just made out.
Not to
a
my
little
knowledge.
bit. Yeah,
but
they just
clearly
made
I
out.
forget everything.
So
as soon as it happens.
So Victoria's tired. Dawson,
I'm done.
Dawson and Jen banged, and Pacey and Joey have banged.
It should have been like the other way around a little bit.
Well, I hope Joey found
Parisian.
an SSD.
Oh right, a French SSD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So wait, Jen,
Joey.
Joey. That's just. God damn it! I'm done. But what if Jen bangs that film director? He's Italian. He's maybe
He's not Italian. He's like Australian or something.
Yeah, he's got an
accent,
I thought
and
he was
but it's
supposed to be
not
Italian.
British. It's not British, right?
I don't remember.
It doesn't sound British to me. I don't know.
All
But he
right.
has an accent.
Let's wrap this up. I'm done. It's 1:20 in the morning.
Oh my God, we have to go. Oh, I scared Murphy.
Why are you screaming? People are sleeping right now. I just thought it was like 11:30, but it's not 11:30. It's 2 hours after that.
It was 11:30. Yeah, 2 hours ago.
Well, time flies when you're tired.
When you're having fun. So yeah, I guess season 6 will tell us whether or not Joey goes to Paris. All right, guys, we did it. Season 5. One more season to go, you guys.
7 more Oppenheimers. We got this.
We got this. Come on. We're like triathletes at this point.
I feel like it. I'm at the end of my career. It's been years of this.
All right. So we may or may not take a little break to just so we've had too much Dawson's Creek. That's what I'm trying to say. But hopefully we'll be back with season 6 ASAP. We're Basic Teen TV. My name's Melissa.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Cindy.
And we just want to thank all of our basic bitches for listening. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for hanging in.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.